Hello folks, I'm Dean with Dean's Woodworking. Y'all come on in the shop and make yourself comfortable. So what are we going to do today? We are going to turn some little bowls that could be real handy for putting your pills in or sitting beside your nightstand or whatever. You see, I just did a video of a box that's great for putting your little stash of stuff in, money, toothpicks, your pills for the day. And one of the viewers, Ron Radliff, sent me a message and said he loved the idea, but he makes the little bowls to put his pills in. He started talking about how handy they were. I thought that was a good idea. I mentioned it to my wife, called up a couple of friends, asked them what they thought about it. Of course, I've got orders for them right now. First one going to the wife, obviously. I started thinking, how can we do this and make it quick, make it simple, make it something I could do small and afford to sell at an upcoming craft show I've got and still be profitable. So I came up with a couple ideas. You guys stay tuned, watch what we have to do, and let's get started. Now, one of the things I want to show you guys before we get too far into this is we're going to be doing some parting, and this is not Endgrain. This is regular spindle turning, but we're going to be taking the bowl out of the Endgrain. We're going to be parting these off. There's a couple of things I want to show you. Number one, if you've watched very many of my videos, you've seen me talk about raise the handle of your parting tool before you stick it in the wood. So let me show you something here. Now this is actually pretty smooth, but if you'll see right in here, we've got some feathering and stuff, and this pear is pretty dry and it's pretty hard. With some woods, let's just say it splinters out a lot. So we don't want that splintering. Okay folks, let's go ahead and get started on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here to the end and I'm gonna mark myself a tenon. If you're going to do this, always make sure that the only side that touches is the one nearest you. Once you get that mark made, that's going to be our tenon, okay? Let's go ahead and be safe. Turn the lathe off before we start moving the tool rest. That's 1 1/4 inch, and we're going to make that bowl basically about 1 1/4 inch deep too. So I've marked my tenon, and I've marked the depth of the bowl. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to come into the end grain here, and we're going to cut that tenon. And we're going to make it about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, once we've got that back in about 1/8 of an inch, then we're going to take our spindle gouge and we're just going to make just a little bit of an undercut there. So basically I cut it straight and I'm making just a little bit of an undercut. Then I'm going to come right into the end here and we're just going to hollow that out just a little bit. And basically all we're doing there is making sure that the bottom of that bowl will sit flat. Once we have that done, we can start shaping the outside of that bowl. So remember, I'm coming from the outside going in because this is spindle turning orientation. You want to see that bowl taking shape real quick there, right? Now at that point, we are pretty much done with the outside. But just because this is a small bowl does not mean we're not going to dress it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn it back on. And we'll go ahead and put couple of rings in there. Now with that done, we're going to go ahead and hit this thing with some sandpaper. And I believe we're going to start off with 220 here. I don't think we need any more than that. And some of you may be going, well, you didn't round off that foot. Well, the sandpaper just did. You don't have to sand very much on this. If you have your tool control like we all want it to be, then sanding really becomes almost a non-issue. And so I just hit that with 220 and 320, and we are ready to part this off. Now again, I'm going to raise the back of that. I'm going to come in with the back of the handle up, And as I come in, then I'm going to drop the handle so I'm in a cutting position. We have a little bowl. Well, yeah, you're right. There's a problem. We've still got to do something about the inside. Well, you know what? I think if we're going to do that, we probably ought to have at least a pair of those, and especially since it's out of pear wood. So let's go ahead and make us another mark. We're going to flip this around. We're going to make us another mark on the end grain here. There we go. There we go. So we've got that done. And hopefully you guys are following along with what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm happy with that shape. We'll take our spindle gouge, and then again we're just going to come right in here and do just a little bit of relief there. And basically what that does is it turns that foot into a bead of sorts. And so, we almost forgot. We need to put our little rings in there so we can decorate that thing up just a little bit, right? And I want to hollow out that foot just a little bit more than it is. So let's take this little tiny gouge here. That is a 1/4-inch shaft on that tool. It's the only one I've ever seen, but it sure comes in handy. And it could be argued that it's a spindle gouge, but it's shaped more like a bowl gouge than it is a spindle gouge. We'll hit it back again with a 220. And again, you guys are seeing everything here. And the 320. Take a look at that before we part it off. All right, now we're going to go ahead and part this one off. Again, holding that handle high. Get that cut started. And then lower the handle. And just follow that cut right on through. Now folks, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this piece of priced material out here that's still good for another bowl, and we are going to put that little bead into the chuck. Okay, now let's go ahead and hollow this little booger out. This is a tiny, tiny little gouge, guys. There's no reason you couldn't do it with a bigger gouge. Just taking lighter cut. Remember, as you get near the center, just like on the bigger bowl, slow down just a little bit. Got a little bit of vibration there. Let's give the little 3/8 bowl gouge a try and see if that works any better here. Alright folks, we're going to come across here. Let's check the thickness on this now. Wow, we're pretty thick there at the bottom, folks. Let's take some more out of that. Now we're about 1/8. We're going to go a little thinner than that. Okay folks, let's take a look at this. I believe we're ready to sand. Yeah, we're just about 1/16 of an inch thick there. Let's do just a little bit of sanding. And amazingly, we're not that bad. I don't think we need to power sand this one, folks. Little walnut oil on that one. We'll come in with a little blue shop towel. Wipe that off just a little bit. You saw how long it took to make that little bowl. Let me show you guys this thing a little bit closer. Got the rings on the bottom. It's an end grain bowl, so you see the grain in the top. Perfect size. Let's see here. We are 2 1/4 inches. Would your grandma like that to put her pills in? Or put her earrings or her ring in beside her bed? Again, it took no time at all to turn that, and you've got something that you can give away all day long. And if you're doing craft shows and craft fairs, I guarantee you we will sell out of these. It doesn't matter how many I make, we'll sell out of them, because that's the little things that people buy that end up paying your booth fee. Hey folks, if you like what you're seeing, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I can't thank you folks enough for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy turning.